when you consider the fact that you can't just replace a system, I truly believe that a day would come where Nigerians would truly appreciate what we have done and what we are doing currently. And this is because in a very short space of time, we've managed to build so much in numbers. And a time would come where our sensitization to young people comes to bear its fruits, meaning it's fruitful in its harvest. Why I say so is because when these current faces leave and we support people from our organization, bear in mind we're not a political party, but we have people from all parties. And when we can identify from within the organization and we support them to run for offices little by little, and we make them subjected to our own philosophies and our ideologies and manifestos, give it a few years, when people see the progress that's made from what NBYN is doing, we will revolutionize the whole of politics in Nigeria and the manner in which it's taken. And before you know it, other organizations like this will come up and we'll have competitors. And this is truly revolution. This will be revolutionary if you can all stick to it and not let petty sentiments like party politics. Party politics to me is just petty sentiments and the selfish need to just settle scores. But if we can go down on this path, I believe that we can revolutionize how politics is carried out in the whole of the country. And imagine young people doing that. This has happened before. I think someone spoke about Yakubu Gowon earlier. You know, when they got to the positions they got at young ages and did what they did at those ages, we can bring that time back. I have full faith and I have no doubt that if we can stick to this and be true to ourselves and be honest with it, we will make that change happen.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed. I hope your question has been answered. If it hasn't been answered, you can work with him on his way out and he will shed more light on that. So the next question I would be directing to Ambassador Jet. And it was a question from our guest number 1. And he said, what are the plans to reach out to the grassroots? I'm coming back to you because that was the question I pretty much asked you prior to this time. And he also stated on the issue of preferred candidates. How would you convince Mr. ABCDZ on your preferred candidates? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I think the press also asked us, preferred candidates. How do you come to narrow down at your preferred candidate? For us, our preferred candidate must be a candidate that has shown some level of competence and some level of credibility. We don't care if the person is from the east, west, north or south. That's not for us. We are more concerned in NBYN, we are more concerned about the person's pedigree. If you say you will do, or you're the bridge builder, or you're the this, you're the this, or you're this, I don't want to call some of them have called themselves. You know, the question is, what have you done? Don't tell me you want to put all of us, you want to unify us. You must, as I said, charity begins at home. There must be something you have done to be able to convince Nigerians that you actually what you said you're going to be. You don't need power to change anything, to become what you want to. You will know you by the little you have. We don't have money. I didn't have money. I know how much of what I do have, the little of what I have that came into the thing. You know, so I'm not doing it for anybody. And, you know, we've had reasons to go to somewhere in Metaba. They told us that we should bring all our executives and all that. They'll give us an office and we'll start putting ourselves for somebody. I would say no. Because that's not what we are. You know, for me, I was raised as a person by my mother will always tell me that money is to solve problems and nothing else. If you are alive, you can breathe and all that, just have money to solve problems if you do have problems. And if God has blessed you, You don't go to hospital. I've never been to hospital for God knows when. So if I'm not looking for money to treat myself, and all I'm looking for money is just to be happy and probably change my car after a while and all, I'm very much okay. So I believe that if we have this mindset, if we have the mindset that whoever must be should be a president for us, not a president for you that want to go and receive 1 million naira or 500,000 or 10 million naira. Because that's the thing, it's selfishness. It's just the one we're going to grab. You know, if we are looking for a president for Nigerians, and not a president for you and for the benefits that you think you will have. Because right now, a lot of people are doing a lot of things because the idea is that if this person wins, you're going to be something. That is selfishness. So I feel that we are going to arrive at that decision when we decide and we look at who has. And of course, we know that might not go well with all our members. Some would want to say, oh, why wouldn't you even go for this one that has so much money to throw around, or somebody that is, But the truth is, we are out for a better Nigeria. If you're not tired, I told someone, I said, if you add 8 more years to the age I am, I will be a fool at 40. And I'm not ready for that. It's crazy. We can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Raymond. Sorry, we do not have enough time on our hands, so I need to run real quickly. So I'll be buttressing on something you stated earlier on. We had a speaker, I don't know if you were here earlier on. There was a speaker who stated his organization, which is Niger Poll, and how they have certain measures in place that could help you ascertain what your ideologies are, and in turn help you select the best candidates who falls in line with your ideologies. So if you ask me, I think it is first knowing what you stand for. What do you stand for? Sapa never tire you. So if you know what you stand for, then I believe we are all in the same boat and we want the same vision for Nigeria. Now I'll be moving on to Mr. Kenneth, and I'll be asking you the 4th question. Our guest mentioned, sadly, the issues that occurred in the last elections in Ekiti State. I know you like that question about vote buying. What's your take on that, and how can we, beyond all of these pizzazz, how can we indeed curb the issue of vote buying? Because for me, in my view, so long as you have hungry people, I think vote buying would always occur. And sadly now, this hunger is beyond poverty. It is now a challenge that we all face. How can we realistically solve these issues? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. You see, vote buying, I don't see it as something that is difficult. The onus is on the youths. Who and who buy votes? The youths. Who and who involves in election thuggery? The youths. When a politician gives you money, you collect the money and you later vote somebody of your choice. You have involved yourself in 2 things. You made a politician believe that with money he can win an election, and you do what? You betrayed him by voting another candidate. The best thing to do, why I started like this, is because it's us, the youth, that will stop it. Election buying, if somebody approach you to give you money, let it be known to the person that you cannot buy me. I cannot be purchased for material things. This is what I stand for. By the time you start saying this, those people that are packing their stocking their money, believing that the election, if we don't know, let me tell us, Nigerian politicians believe that those that are moving around campaigning and talking to people are wasting their time. The best thing is, on the election, they use the money and buy these stupid people, buy their votes, and imprison them for the next 8 years. And when you divide the money they give to you by 8 years or by 4 years, you see that you made a worse mistake that your children will not forgive you for. So what I want to say in that is that vote buying can never stop until the person that is accepting the money realizes the dangers that he's putting himself and the children into. Just like what happened in the Ekiti State election you just mentioned. EFCC did not smell their hand to know that something like that is going on there. I believe it was somebody that informed them, that alerted them for them to go and make that huge arrest. That is the type of thing I want us the youth to involve ourselves in. Don't collect the money. I disagree from the ideology of collect the money from a politician and vote who you want to vote. The money is your money. Let me leave us with one story. If a politician steals money and is running to catch up a flight and the money falls off from his pocket, you pick that money and believe that it's your money, part of the money he stole that you are picking, you are part of the people that have stolen the money. No matter how you want to put it. So there's no need for us to beat around the bush. The elderly people cannot be purchased because they don't even have the strength to chase these politicians. Look at the way they did it that day. You vote and show. Before I say this, our election umpires should play a vital role in copying this vote buying. Because if you saw what happened in Ekiti State, if that continues in 2023, there will be a very big problem. People vote and show who they voted for, and they now direct them where they will go and get paid. You know, it was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And I want to tell us that we, what I mean by we, the youths, we can stop this. Take this story home. At 27 years, somebody was a governor of a state. At 27 years, somebody was a minister. How old are you now seated here? Have you even contested for councillorship and won? Or have you been appointed for anything, nothing other than being appointed to be a dog that will carry gun? Next time they tell you that, my brothers and sisters, tell them to bring their children back from abroad to come and carry that gun. You see, they will not do it. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth. So the last question I'll be awarding to Prince Edward. I would love to buttress a little bit on what Mr. Kenneth said. I recently saw this movie, Badamosi. I don't know how many of us have seen it. And in that movie, something struck my chest. Basically, it was the fact that vote buying didn't even begin today. From what I saw in that movie, it started even in the days of Badamosi. Now, we talk about how a lot of these older people got into offices as young people. They were youth when they got into that office. Aren't they the problem? Because sometimes when I talk with young people and we say, oh, we want young people, we want youth, I'm like, the people we are trying to drive away now got in there as youth and they refuse to go. Now we talk, we don't even say 4 years, we say 8 years because we know that they will not live in 4 years. Our votes don't count. That is what our guest said. And perhaps the older people do not believe in vote buying because they have nothing to lose. What's your take on this and how can we make it better?
Thank you very much. I'm a very practical person. You must understand that you can't be more of a criminal than people who were criminal before you. You want to go and take power from people that sat down from military coup. They have been there, they have practiced and perfected this strategy, and then they came to us and told us you're the leader of tomorrow. So we keep waiting for a tomorrow that will never come. That's mindset. They've worked on our mind. Who told you they don't take money? They own the delegates, so they take 1 billion and call their followers and tell them vote for this person. They play the business in the big way. They are big boys, they are big players. The only way to change the narrative, you can't stop a hungry man from taking money. They don't want to give us jobs, so we graduate and remain. They are built prisons for me and you. Lots are football clubs, stadiums for political campaigns and church crusades. You can't play ball in this country and make money. You can't sing song and get anywhere. There's no platform for young people. That is why we must be intentionally strategic. It means that tell yourself as a young man, what is my contribution?
We are not ready to make sacrifices. We are doing the Remain Club, popping champagne. Wike is doing the Remain Government House. You and Wike, who's popping better? You can still drink and drink well. You can chill and chill well. Chase leadership. If you can have a youth who can give you platforms, you don't need anybody to give you money. You will keep carrying guns and keep going to prison, and they will keep sending their children abroad. They will go to schools and come back, and they will create their kind that will be worse than them. I am not just pitying me and you. I'm pitying the fact that within us, our enemies are not the leaders. Our enemies are ourselves. Let's begin to look for those youths who have been eating from these men and have chosen. Let's fight ourselves. We can fight ourselves. We tell ourselves the truth. We know the truth. The truth will set you free. We have been knowing the truth, but refuse to set ourselves free. Stop blaming people. Our girls should follow these men. When you follow them, come and give us information. Tell them about us. Learn the strategy. You follow them, they pay you money. You come back, you're not our wife. So let's be strategic as young people. You go to school, no job, you're complaining. How would you get the job? Are the policies of government favorable to young people? Can you get a loan from a bank? You know, so there's too many crises. So what we need is the right youth to lead us. How do we get the right youth to lead us? Let's keep talking to one another. We are all expecting a Messiah. Nobody wants to be the Messiah. The truth is this: nobody holy past another. So me and you, we know that we want change in Nigeria. We must all get out of our homes and start door-to-door campaigns. See, election time is a very critical time. You can't be, chilling. If you cut your coat, if you used to pop 3 bottles of champagne, reduce it. Put that money, 1,000 naira. We raise money for the video to clear car. Have any of you raised money for the right candidate? Don't you know them? You know the guy who's doing well. You're here, you're complaining about bad education. You're a mathematics teacher, you're good in maths. Have you ever dedicated 1 hour of your time in a week to go and teach the children in the primary school by your house? So let's be very conscious about practicality of leadership. There are so many things I do that I don't need anybody to give me anything. It's my contribution. It's my experience. Let's come together, shake hands together. In this hall, who will be president here? We will fight till they give it to another person. We don't want to sit down and build processes. Sit down and build institutions, structures. All of us want to fly in the structures of these men. When Buhari won as president, if you don't know, look in Abuja. Old cars came into Abuja and exchanged it to new cars. Some of them came and took our daughters, our wives. People that would have been your wife, they married 7, 8 wives. Look at the old houses, they've renovated it. They changed their scale again. That shows you that he does not know me. And why would you blame him? Buhari is my motivation. Should I tell you why? He remembered his friends. So you, if you want to be remembered, look for friends that you can push to go there. When they go there, they don't know the old men, they know your names. Don't just sit down and drink and drink and drink, and you're not ready to create the change you want. Nobody's going to spoon feed you. Power is not given, it's taken. Seek the power you want, and you can get the results you want. Thank you.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And remember, the reason why lions hunt in a group is because they understand the power they have when they are more. Let's be the change we seek. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'll be calling on Mr. Ibrahim. I'll be calling on Mr. Ibrahim for the closing remarks. And while we wait for that, okay, no need for that? Great. Right, so I'll ask for the panelists, please. Can we have a group photograph? I am lucky.
Sorry, shortly after the group photograph, Mr. Ibrahim, the Deputy National Director. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause again for the panelists. We've done very well. Before we call on Mr. Ibrahim, the Deputy National Director, I would like to call upstage a group of people. They're known as Represent Me. I'd like to welcome them up stage to just do a quick introduction of who they are. Welcome, sir.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Victor Mba. I'm a co-founder in a solution called Represent Me. Represent Me with a Z. Represent Me as one word. And first of all, I want to thank this NBYN for this event. It's not easy. They are doing a lot of advocacy, and I can imagine the amount of resources that have gone into organizing this kind of event. I walked in here. I'm not seeing any sponsorship on anywhere, so please let's give them a round of applause. They've done very, very well. Okay, so Represent Me is an app, basically, and what that app does is what the name implies, represent me. All these people we see in power, something we always forget is that they are representing you. The guy from Ebonyi South, whatever he says on the floor of the Senate, it's assumed that that is what Victor has said. So when we have this mindset, we understand where Represent Me is coming from. We're trying to get Nigerians more involved in governance, and we are not doing it as a movement. We are using technology. My mentor, Mr. Folusho Phillips, defined innovation as the next level of convenience. So how convenient is it to engage with the people who represent you? It has been a problem we've been looking at, and we say, you know what? If you don't have their numbers on your phone and you call them, the phone will not ring. Even if it rings, they will not pick. You send them a message, they will block you. So how can we come together, talk to these people, and make our voices heard? We say, okay, let's have an application. And this application will not be like a one-on-one talk between we and the people. It's a group talk. So if we are all, for instance, from Ekiti South, we are all going to be in one group with the person representing us. So if we are talking to him and he refuses to answer us, we'll take it up with him. Because we have seen that there is little we can do to influence elections. That's the truth for now. I'll give you a typical example of what has just transpired with these elections. First of all, we are stuck with the choice of the delegates. Whether you like it or not, if it's an election here as to who will be the PDP flag bearer or the APC flag, I bet you it will be a different outcome. But there's nothing we can do. So all we can do is, okay, let them win. But we are going to participate in governance beyond the election. A lot have been said, so I would just like to stop here and say, please, I'm very confident that we will work together with the NBYN and any other organization that is looking towards improving governance in Nigeria. I tell people, young persons have only two options. The first option is to japa. If you cannot japa, stay here and make it work. So we are trying hard to make it work. So please download Represent Me, use Represent Me, tell your friends, tell your relatives, tell your girlfriend to tell her boyfriend to download Represent Me and use it. Thank you very much, and once again a round of applause for the NYBN. They've done a very fantastic job. God bless you all.
Upstage, Deputy Director General Ibrahim, please. A round of applause. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ibrahim Dibko. I'll be delivering the closing remarks and vote of thanks. So, to start with, I would really like to extend my gratitude to the efforts of our great National Director, Ambassador Raymond Jefferson. You know, and Mr. Raymond, I speak for everyone when I say you certainly lit a fire amongst us, within us, deep inside. Because we've had so many youths slumbering, you know, just not participating, but this endeavor that you're driving is surely going, because I can say for sure it has aroused my interest in Nigerian politics and making things better.
Also, your leadership experience, because when he introduced himself, you heard it. He's been on so many different organizations and he's got experience. So that experience is the prime principal enabling factor for NYBN success, NBYN. So thank you very much again, Mr. Raymond. This conference couldn't have happened without you. Now, I am very confident that NBYN is surely on the path of delivering our great mission, which is to galvanize Nigerians, get youth to become more active, and electoral process. If you speak to so many youth, let's use 2019 for example. So many youths just decided not to vote because they think their vote doesn't count. But it's one of the main duties of NBYN is to actually assure Nigerians that their vote counts. And they take a very active role. Now, as you can see, NBYN, we have a huge diversity. We are coming from all ethnic groups, different religions, and this is a proof that Nigeria can be unified with the right amount of effort. I mean, you see people will be using religion. They will use religion, ethnic groups to cause divisions within Nigeria. But NBYN is just a perfect example that shows this can work out. We are all one person. Nigeria is one entity. So we have to start driving that narrative, and unity has to be a major proponent of NBYN and Nigerian politics as a whole. Now, I want you all to raise your fists up as I say this. Come on. So, up. God bless Nigeria. God bless NBYN. And thank you all for your efforts and support in coming here and playing as usual. You'll see good results. Thank you.
A round of applause again. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw to the close of this epic baking event, I would please call us all up front to take a group photograph. Ladies and gentlemen, please, can we come forward to the stage so we could have a group photograph? The national executives could come upstage first. D&D. Ibrahim, Ahmed, please. Those outside, can you come in for a group photograph before we leave? Thank you. Sorry. Okay, I think the professional would advise we go outside to take this picture, please. Okay, thank you. We'll proceed outside. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Can we go outside for a group photograph, please, ladies and gentlemen?
On Twitter and Facebook, let us build this big vision together. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Nbyn Gifts. Keep watching Aspheric TV. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Aspheric TV on YouTube. On Twitter, Instagram, we are Aspheric News. Bye.
Waka, no gossip, gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money that you go from heaven, do better thing. Money you know, the true one that they tell you so. Hey, true word, not the cheap, Nigeria. Not the square person, not you, yeah. Waka, no gossip, another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money don't come from heaven, do better thing. Money don't come. The true one that they tell you so. Money not so.
Share. Don't be.